Get ready, because we could and should have a huge few days of Premier League football this weekend, because every fixture counts. Every fixture is important. Either at least one team still has something to play for, or there's a big story. There's something going on in every single game, and I can't wait. Now, before we get into it and start previewing and predicting every single game, let's remind ourselves of how the league table looks with just 2 games to go, starting with the race for Champions League football. We've still got Arsenal in second, who require a point for Champions League football next season. Newcastle United in third, and in fourth we've got Manchester City, with Chelsea occupying the final Champions League spot in fifth on 63 points, tied with Aston Villa, who have a significantly worse goal difference. So they require a favour from someone this weekend or next weekend, and the team that could provide that favour is Nottingham Forest, who sits 7th on 62 points and face the Blues on the final game of the season. Now, from the Champions League race to the race for 8th, Brentford occupy that spot currently on 55 points, is tied with Brighton, but they've got a much better goal difference. Bournemouth not out of it though, only a couple of points behind in 10th, but Fulham have been on the slide for a few weeks now, and they sit 11th on 51 points. Now, this weekend we will discover if 8th place is European football. Before these teams kick off, before Brentford or Brighton kick off their games this weekend, they will know if they're playing for European football or not. If Manchester City win the FA Cup on Saturday evening, 8th place will get Conference League football. However, if Crystal Palace win the FA Cup, they will go into the Europa League. 8th place won't get European football, and the prize for finishing 7th, which is currently occupied by Nottingham Forest, that will be the Conference League qualification. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, from the league table to the fixtures, and we're going to kick it off with that 2 massive games on Friday night. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to these. We've got Chelsea against Manchester United, and we've also got Aston Villa against Spurs. Spurs now have lost 20 games in the league this season. 20 matches. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievably bad. And the worst thing is, for them, there's still 2 games to go. I feel more confident Spurs will finish up the season having lost 22 league games than I do 20 or 21. However, if they win the Europa League, do they care? No. Because that's what it's all about for them in Man United. Wednesday night in Bilbao. These fixtures couldn't be better for Aston Villa or Chelsea. I appreciate the fans are looking at it, probably thinking it's a bit of a banana skin, all the pressures are lost, this isn't good. It is good. It is absolutely good. You're coming up against the reserve team for both teams, and even then, the players playing probably don't even care themselves. It couldn't be better if you're a Villa fan. They're the form team in the Premier League, winning 8 of their last 10, going into this one at Villa Park. Coming up against the Spurs side, that if we remove the context for a minute, which is the Europa League final, and just look at them so far this season, they've faced the top 7 13 times. They've lost 11. No matter which angle you look at this game, it's hard to come to any conclusion other than an Aston Villa win. The only way you come to a conclusion that's not a home win is if you're a Villa fan and you're just very nervous and you've convinced yourself you're going to chuck it away. I don't think you're going to do that. There's usually goals in this fixture. Whether it's at Villa or Spurs, the last 8 games, there's been at least 3 goals in each of them. I can't back anything other than a home win here. My prediction, Aston Villa 3, Spurs 0. And I want to know your predictions as well. So don't be shy. Get involved in the comments. In the video description, all the fixtures I've discussed are there. Just copy and paste the list. Give me your score prediction for every game. It's just a bit of fun. I don't hold you to it. But if you do well, I will credit you for it. Also, if you're new to the channel, if you're new, this might be your first video, your second video, please make sure you subscribe to the Tartan YouTube channel, and also drop a like on the video as well by clicking thumbs up. Both things are free, takes 2 seconds, helps out the video, helps out the channel. I'm a new small channel, so any support helps massively. It motivates me to keep going, so massive thank you. Right, Villa Park to Stamford Bridge. Again, same conclusion. It has to be a home win. I've seen my team play Spurs and Man U in the last couple of weeks. They just don't care. We played Man U last weekend. The team on paper wasn't that rotated. He played some of his big players like Bruno Fernandes, but they didn't get out of first gear. The only player that was trying against us was Amad Diallo. and that's because he could get into the team in Bilbao. Now, I think he should be in it, but regardless, no matter which team Aberdeen plays at Stamford Bridge, they're not going to try. They don't want to risk injury. Even if they're only on the bench for Bilbao, you're not going to risk injury in this match. Because while you might be disappointed not being the starting 11, you're not going to risk missing out altogether, are you? You're just not going to do it. So no matter what team Aberdeen puts out, and I think it'll be heavily rotated, he said he's going to rest his important players. I still expect Chelsea to be able to win this comfortably. Now, they're missing Nicholas Jackson after his stupid red card, so there's going to be a little bit of shuffling from Maresca. I imagine he might move Neto up front, bring Sancho in for this one. He may throw a curveball and play George from the start. Caicedo stay at right back doing his hybrid role in midfield, push Enzo Fernandez forward. It doesn't really matter what Maresca does. I fully expect a comfortable and easy win at Stamford Bridge. And to be fair, let's remove the context for Chelsea here as well. Let's get rid of that Europa League final. They're in good form at Stamford Bridge. So far in 2025, 9 home games in the Premier League. They've won 7 and drawn 2. That's solid form. Maresca has managed to make Chelsea have a bit of a fortress at Stamford Bridge. And I think he's gone under the radar a little bit. My prediction, Chelsea 2, Manchester United 0. Now let's jump forward to the later game on Sunday as it's Arsenal against Newcastle United. This is a hard one to call. This is a really, really hard one to call. I've seen a few Newcastle fans' predictions. There's a lot of Newcastle fans subscribed on here, so thank you very much. They're a bit worried about it. How often does a team beat the same team 4 times in a season? Well, it's never happened to Arsenal. No team has beaten Arsenal 4 times in the same season. So statistically, it's sort of against them in that regard. Even though I'll quote head-to-head a little bit on here, I don't go into it too much because things change, but this one doesn't. Historically, head-to-head stretch over 2, 3, 4 seasons. Well, this is the 4th time they're meeting this season. But going into it, I'll be honest, I think Newcastle win. I think Eddie Howe's Newcastle side are just as organised as Arsenal. I actually think Arteta's a good manager. I think he's getting a lot of stick at the minute because Arsenal are finishing the season trophyless again, and there's a possibility that Spurs will win a European trophy next week as well, which won't be good for Arsenal. But I think he's a good manager. I think tactically they're a good team. I think they've just made errors in the transfer windows, that's all, in terms of a lack of striker. But going into this one, Isak's half fit. That's been confirmed. He needs surgery at the end of the season. That's not good. He has looked a little bit off the pace in recent weeks, but he's still a top-class striker. Joelinton will be a big miss for Newcastle. I'm intrigued as to what Howe does. Does he go with the same team with Barnes, Murphy and Gordon, or does he take one of them out and put someone else in there, whether it be Longstaff or Willock, just to shore up the midfield? It's a difficult one to call. But even when you look at the statistics, Arsenal 1 win in 6 in the Premier League, 1 win in 6 in all competitions. You want to include the Real Madrid victory in that one, it's still 1 win in 6. They're not in great nick. Only Aston Villa are in better form than Newcastle United going into this game. It's going to be a tough game, but I think they can win it. I'm going to go 2-1 to Newcastle. Now, Arsenal have only lost once at home in the Premier League all season, but Newcastle won there in the Carabao Cup back in January. I'm saying 2-1 Newcastle. I'm backing Howe and I'm backing the Geordies. I think they're going to do it on Sunday at the Emirates. But I'll tell you what, really, really looking forward to that game. Then we're going to move to my team, West Ham at home to Nottingham Forest, the other team in contention for Champions League football. This is where you get a reminder. It's coming to the end, isn't it, for quite a lot of teams and a lot of players. There's going to be a lot of goodbyes because all the home teams this weekend, that's their final home game. They're all away from home next weekend. So there's going to be a lot of farewells, and that includes my team, Craswell, Sufal, Fabianski. They're all off at the end of the season, played their part in us winning the Conference League trophy as well. And even though we beat Man U, and it was nice to beat Man U, it hasn't installed confidence in me that we've suddenly turned a corner or anything like that. I think we'll look all right against Nottingham Forest. I think we'll cause Nottingham Forest problems, but I don't think we'll win. I think there's got to be a reaction from Forest. Now, both of these teams, we've both played In our last 5 games, we both picked up 5 points. So form-wise, there's nothing separating us and Nottingham Forest. Now, all the pressure's on them, especially if Villa and Chelsea win on Friday night as predicted. They go into the game on Sunday knowing that they have to win or they can't get Champions League football. That's huge pressure. But sometimes a storm can make a team come together. There's been all this talk around Awoni and the owner going on the pitch, and I'm going to park what I think about that. To summarise it, stupid offside rule, get rid of it. Now you know my thoughts. But sometimes that can just pull a team together. And I think that's what will happen at the London Stadium on Sunday. My prediction, Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham United 1. Then we're off to Brentford, taking on Fulham. Now, technically, Fulham have got something to play for. It's just unlikely. But saying that, if they win here, if Man City wins the FA Cup, Fulham beat Brentford, then they go into the last game of the season with every chance of European football. But I've really got to almost persuade myself that that's possible. Because Fulham at the minute, they've lost 4 of their last 5. That one game that they didn't lose, they beat Southampton in the last minute. They've dropped more points from winning positions than anyone else this season. 28 points they've dropped from winning positions. And they're coming up against the Brentford side, who have won 4 in a row now. They are... I never expected this from Brentford in a million years. I did a video a couple of weeks ago saying this lot could get 8th. This lot could get European football. But I also did a video coming out of the international break saying Brentford are always the first team on the beach. Forget about them. Shows how little I know. I'm trying to persuade you to stick around. Don't go anywhere off the back of that. But Brentford have thoroughly impressed me. But not just Brentford as a whole. Shada's in form. And Boma's in form. Possibly trying to earn a move. Doesn't matter what his motivation is. He's in form. Wissa's in form. 3 goal scorers in form. Doesn't matter what team you are. When you've got that, you've got a chance. And I think Brentford will get the job done on Sunday. I'm saying Brentford 3, Fulham 1. Weird statistic, by the way. Fulham haven't drawn a game in 16 games. 16 games without a draw. Well, we know what's happening now, don't we? Tune in on Monday when we discuss the 2-2 draw at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Moving on to Goodison Park now. Here we are. We're getting into the games where there's not much riding on it. But it's an important game. This is an important game, an important day for Evertonians. Fantastic occasion, sad occasion. It's nice to see that they're not going to be knocking the stadium down. It's going to be sticking around for Everton women's football. It's nice that it will still be there. But they're still going to want to sign off with a win. A month ago, 2 months ago, this would have looked like the ideal fixture. Home to Southampton. Hello, 3 points. Goodbye, Goodison Park. It's got a bit trickier in recent weeks, hasn't it? As covered on the review show, there's only 4 defences better in the Premier League since Ruskin and Lallana took charge in terms of conceding big chances. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Southampton will turn up with their sleeves rolled up, looking to spoil the party. But I think Everton will just manage it. That was a big win for them against Fulham. 1 win in 10 going into Craven Cottage. But to come out 3-1 winners, it's important that they got those points in the bag. It just gave their fans hope that they can win. I'm going to say Everton 1, Southampton 0. Leicester City against Ipswich. Another important story here as it's goodbye Jamie Vardy. Leicester City have unofficially confirmed it's his final game. So we all know Vardy's leaving, but also Leicester have still got 2 games left. But in their club piece about it being the final home game of the season, where they're asking fans not to go on the pitch and that, it says on there it's Jamie Vardy's last ever game for Leicester City. So they've sort of accidentally leaked that he's not playing the last game of the season, which is nice. I actually think it's nice. Let him bow out at home and just do something, away from home. Last game of the season, you've got nothing to play for. Play a kid or something up front. Let Vardy's last ever game be at home against Ipswich Town. In this case, he's got to score, hasn't he? He's absolutely got to score. I'll tell you what, as a lot of you will know, I don't mind a bet. I'm trying to keep betting separate from this channel. I may do something now and again next season. I don't know yet. But it's 108 to 1 for Vardy to score the first goal and get the first card of the match. I don't see why there would be many cards in the game. It's written, isn't it? He's going to score, get his t-shirt off, and there's going to be a message on a vest underneath him. My wife is my wife is a grass. You never know. Probably not. But you never know. But I think it's a milestone match for him as well in terms of Premier League appearances. It's got to be a goal and a card for Jamie Vardy this weekend. I'm going to say Leicester City 2, Ipswich Town 1. Then on Monday night, we've got Brighton against Liverpool. A team that might have nothing to play for against another team that has nothing to play for. But again, you just don't know if Manchester City win the FA Cup and then Brentford Fulham draw, the door is open for Brighton to step into the lead for Conference League football next season. So I think we'll see a motivated Brighton. I also think we will see an unmotivated Liverpool. They've been in Dubai all week. They've gone out there as like a leaving party for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Arne Slot's been in Ibiza. There's still 2 games left. They're already having their end of season party. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I know people who support teams with something to play for. So, for example, Brentford fans might be thinking, oh, Liverpool, don't do this because we need you to beat them. Just like Villa fans might be thinking about West Ham, oh, don't treat it like an end of season goodbye because we need you to beat Nottingham Forest. I don't care. I think the season's 38 games long. If you're relying on someone to do you a favour on match day 37 or 38, it's your fault for not doing enough, right? That's how I've always seen it. Liverpool, do what you want. But as a result of that, it's hard not to look at a Brighton win on Monday night. So my prediction, Brighton 2, Liverpool 1. Right, get involved, don't be shy. I've done a video about the Champions League race with who I think will finish in the top 5. That's on the channel. It'll be on your screen in just a second as well. But massive thank you for tuning in and sticking with me. I'll catch up with you all tomorrow where we will be doing a preview of that FA Cup final between Man City and Crystal Palace. I'll see you then.